come out of your trance for the next session. And I thank the organizers, especially my friends Prakash and Anand, who gave me this opportunity to be with you. I have sent out a lot of invitations for my friends in US, Middle East, and other Indian friends to watch this as a web livecast through Hoogly, and they are doing a great job. I have been seeing that live from the morning. It's a great show, so thank you very much for that. And I know how it is, and they have also given saying that if your connection is above 512 kbps, you would be. I even connected here, and it was perfectly working well, and there was no. So I think you would be able to enjoy. And some of you had tweeted me, some of you had SMSed me saying that, has your slot changed? There was a slight program delay in the program running, so that's the reason of the delay. I hope you are with me, all of you here and online. So we'll go into the session. And I actually thought this is a management conclave. I think we have had a mix of cultural, management, and other entertainment too. And today, this session, we are going to talk about social media. I think most of you have heard this term because it's the in thing today. I think everybody talks about social media. Everybody knows social media. But before that, whenever I ask somebody, do you know social media? They say, yes, you mean Facebook? You mean LinkedIn? You mean Twitter? Something like that. So let's go through the basics of social media. And I have been advising brands. So whenever I go to a customer or client or an individual or an enterprise, I get three kinds of people. One is the moment you say social media, they say, oh, who has all the time? We are busy people in the business. And who has all the time to update or talk to others online? Do you really think people talk online? We don't have time for that. So I categorize them. They are ignorant of social media, and hence they ignore it. And the second category, they say, yeah, I want to be there, jump into some of the tools, and maybe they are talking to 100,000 people, but they have one person in charge of that. That means they have a big target audience and they have limited resources, and they get into trouble. The third category is they jump in, they have the resources, but do all the wrong things and get very bad results, and then say, oh, social media, I don't think it's the future of business because we did this and we got very bad results. So these three categories. So what are the basics? What are the basics? So we have got to understand anything that comes in new, what are the underlying changes? So what are the underlying changes in business which has brought social media to the forefront? That's what we will see today in this session. Slides on. So I have put social media basics for personal and professional lives. See, for example, if for a moment you take out this word social media and read it as telephone for personal and professional lives, you will understand it immediately. We all use our telephones both for personal and for professional. There is no clash. In the same way, if you put email for personal and professional lives, you will understand it perfectly, because we use email for personal and professional lives. The same way, try to understand social media for personal and professional lives. I think it's taking a minute. On to a slide. Okay, we'll come to that. So, I was told that it's loaded already. You want me a copy of that? Hang on a minute. Okay, we'll come back to the slides. let's carry on with the session. So when you talk about personal, professional lives, it's mostly integrated. Like I think we talk to somebody personally and then land up with professional side, and then sometimes the workspace that we are in, the profession that we do, we pick up, thank you, we pick up personal friends from there. I don't think anybody can say today that I keep my personal and professional lives apart. So I'll handle this slide. It's not showing here. No, I don't have it here. You are going to change? So I'll say the next slide. Okay, sure. Okay, now that we are in a social media session, I will not ask you to raise your hand for asking questions, and this is my Twitter ID @VaratKrish, where you can tweet your questions and it will be answered. Even people who are watching online, whatever comment you want to make, whatever questions you have, you can just tweet it to VaratKrish and it will get answered. Next. So I said there is no strict demarcation of the two, of the personal and professional lives. Most of the time we do. Some people say, oh, my company has blocked all Facebook page, Twitter page at workspace. But I always say, do you remember when telephone came, there used to be one telephone in a floor of the office, and then they will say no personal calls there. And then the same thing happened for other fax or whatever you had. So the same way, social media, those restrictive practices are not going to survive. Because when mobile came, everybody had a personal mobile which they talked. Nobody could do anything about it. And one more thing, if you have restrictive practices in your company, the people, the youngsters who have always grown with these things are not going to work in your company, are not going to be attracted by you. So it is always better that you have policies in place, guidelines in place, but not restrictive practices. Next slide. And people always ask me, okay, I am in social media tools, using that, I am online, but why will somebody be interested in what I do? Or why should I be interested in what others do? But I always give this example. Have you seen that most of us use two-wheelers and park our vehicle in the night, the next day morning pick up the two-wheeler and go? And incidentally, we might not have switched off the headlights, and you start with the headlight on and go, and within 100 meters, at least 5 to 10 people tell you your headlight is on. And the same way, you had put your side stand in your two-wheeler, and then you take it out and go, somebody takes the pain to overtake, risk their life and stop you and say that your side stand is on. Why do they do that? At least side stand I can understand, it has a safety aspect. But headlights, let it be on, why should anyone be bothered about it? It is not so. It's human nature that people tend to talk, people tend to contribute, people tend to advise, people tend to ask. So if you ask, why will anyone be interested in me, or will I be interested in others? The answer is a big yes. But the thing is, what are they interested? What are you interested? That is something which you have got to define. I always say, see, I still have not used those social media terminologies that you have heard of in your life. Okay, I'll come to that later. I always say, when somebody asks me, what is social media? I always say, social media is people talking to people. So what's so great about it? We have always been talking. People have always been talking to other people. So why would it be called a social media now? So now you come to the understand social media with this sentence. Social media is a generic term for people talking to people online using tools and for their interactions. So now, whenever you hear about social media, take 3 keywords. One is it's online, it's done through a tool, and most important part of it is interactions. So that's people talking to people over the online using a tool, and the interactions takes place is called social media. The tool alone is not called social media. They are called social media tools. So whenever people talk about it, I always say, if you want to know how-tos, like if you want to know how to use Facebook, how to use Twitter, how to use something else, there are hundreds of people who will teach you that. That is teaching a tool. That doesn't mean teaching social media. I always say, did we have fax expert? Did we have email expert? All that we learned. It's a tool, and according to our need, we learned the tool, how to use it. And somebody was talking about email etiquette today. So what I'm saying is, when you want to learn a tool, it's fine. You go to those workshops, you learn the tool. But that doesn't mean that you have understood social media. Because it is about how you talk, what you talk, to whom you talk. So the only thing is, it is a tool and it is done online. So you are not limited by geography or limited by time zones. You can talk. See, most of the time, in India, when we get up, China is already ahead. So it's probably afternoon for them. And then maybe you can interact with somebody, see what Chinese customers have done. After that, you carry on with your follow-up work in India. Then starts maybe Latin America, then starts US. So you can see. So today, the companies, some of the companies who work globally have time slots for people coming in, interact with respective customers. So it is, these tools allow you to interact all the time. And one more difference between social media, when I say social media is people talking to people, and traditional people talking to people, is in social media it gets amplified. See, today I'll tell you, I had shared this talk in Facebook. Somebody else had shared it again. So I have 600 friends, let's say. So I have shared it for visibility of 600 friends. When out of 600, 100 people share again, they have each one of them maybe 500 to 2000, whatever it is. So the whole thing is getting amplified. In traditional ways, we have never had such chances. And we can imagine the kind of amplification social media tools allow you to do. Next. So again, what does social media do? It empowers you. It empowers you in a way that you have not known in the past. Let's take personal. This is my favorite column, slide, whatever you call. Because when you talk about personal, you talk about, you keep in touch with friends and families. Immediately I would say, after you got into Facebook, probably all your schoolmates, college mates, everybody came in there. And after years and years of gap, you are talking to them. I'll tell you personally, it's not that every day you talk to them, but you just see Facebook, somebody has landed in some town, somebody has gone to this conference, somebody is doing this, or your own kids. I always say, people are sending their kids abroad for studies, for job, everything. 20 years, 25 years, they have been at home together. They have never asked, what did you eat today? What did you do today? The moment they go abroad, they use, through the social media tool, they know what they ate for breakfast, what they ate for lunch, what did they do, where did they go, whom are they with, all your location tools and all that, everything is used. So it is, see, I'll tell you, even when telephone came, mobile came, elders used to resist. I'll not carry that. No, it has small buttons and I can't manage SMS and all that. But you know why elders started accepting and everybody is using? Because if a father's son or daughter has gone out, he hasn't come back from college or from office, there used to be a lot of anxiety. Now he can just call and then say, oh, the bus is delayed, there is a traffic problem, maybe 2 hours late. The anxiety is gone. So they have used it that way. Today you don't need to even call. You just open your Facebook, he has updated. Stuck in the traffic in Guindy and it will take another 3 hours to come to Katangulu, whatever. So that's the way it is used, to keep in touch, to reduce anxiety, to know everything is fine with family and friends. And keep yourself updated with news. I'll tell you, in the last 2 years or so, one of the nights I was working around 12, 12:30, 1 o'clock on my laptop, and I suddenly felt a shake. It's like this, as if somebody holding the chair and doing like this. In my lifetime, I have never had that shake. I immediately knew this is not some my chair squeaking because